Quick update because I've left everybody hanging for a couple of days. The day before yesterday, I was finally discharged from the hospital and came home. The very next day, I was going to go down to the GP and have half of the stitches removed at the back. And then Monday coming, the rest of the stitches removed at the back and then the staples at the front. So this has been on the cards. I understood this. I was worried because of how sensitive it still felt back there. And actually, on the drive home, the moment I got in the car, I realized I couldn't sit. And I haven't really been able to sit properly, just straight. But when I got home, eventually, I tried to just sit down. So all I want to do is just take the weight off my feet and relax. So it was nice to come home. But at the same time, the moment I sat down, it was excruciating. It was so painful and just straight away tears in my eyes. That's how much it hurt just to sit down. And all these days that have gone by, it's like, why is this getting worse? You know, everything else is fine. It all looks healthy and been improving. I've come off pain relief. And so I understand that this stuff is coming out of my system more and more, you know, but then other things would feel that much worse. And at the back, it's just like getting worse and worse and worse. So I couldn't really rest very well. You know, I'm either having to stand up, position myself right the way around the side on one of my cheeks, or lay down completely on my side. Anyway, go to sleep. I only managed to get 1 hour, and so I'm absolutely shattered. And now we're going down to the GP, and there's all this traffic just out of nowhere. Like, this never really happens around here, but it's just gridlocked both ways. So my mum's taken me, and we get to this road called Pilgrim's Way, and it's shut. And so we had to park over on the side of the road. And now I'm having to take these silly little penguin baby steps all the way down to the GP, which is probably a good half a mile. Now I'm being seen, I'm on my side. And the moment she came into contact back there, it's just like agony. Given that I've been through this invasive surgery, I've been in the hospital for like 10 days, stent syndrome, you know, feelings in my testicles, my penis, and these horrible pains that I'm going through, the stents being taken out, both of them without anesthetic, and all these kidney attacks, all of this stuff that I've been through, and that this was worse. And so I'm just so confused as to why it's so sensitive around there. Anyway, after a good 20 minutes, she managed to remove one stitch, and I'm like sweating and shaking. The moment she went further down to remove, because it's like every other one they were going to remove, it was just severe agony. I even said to her, what about if, because she was saying, I can't continue to do it, like this is too much. I was like, what if I promised to not make a noise and I just be still? So she tried again, and I'm practically screaming. So she was like, you need pain relief. There's no way we can continue to do this. So I went to Sevenoaks Hospital, but they couldn't accommodate me there because they also couldn't provide a local anesthetic or sedation or anything, you know, pain relief, so I can actually get through this. So of all places, we end up back at Pembury Hospital, which is, I was there 18 hours ago and I'm back. But now I'm an outpatient, so we have to go through the whole process again. It's like checking in and joining the queues and, you know, take a seat, which I can't sit down. So I'm like standing and pacing and like positioning myself on different things just to, you know, find some kind of level of comfort while we wait for hours. We then get taken to another area, and that's also like another process. You have to start over again, and then they take you to another area. Eventually we end up back at this kind of surgery department. And after hours and hours of waiting there, they give me 2 doses of really strong morphine, and I'm now waiting to go in so that the surgeon can now remove these two stitches, because that's what it is. There's about 6 stitches, and it's just every other one. So all I have to do is have 2 more stitches removed. I'm on my side. I'm pretty petrified, honestly, because of how sensitive it feels back there, and given the fact that I'm now, before I went into the room, I tried to sit down to see if the pain relief had like addressed the area at all. None whatsoever. Right, so I'm kind of freaking out. Then they have a look and they're like, I think it's infected. So it explains a little bit why it's magnified, the pain back there. And obviously they're saying like any surgery back there is nasty anyway. You've got all these very sensitive nerves. And so the nerves alone, the surgery, the irritation and all this kind of stuff. But if it's infected, obviously now it's magnified. All of a sudden, they're saying, well, we can't now give you this anesthetic spray, and we can't do this and we can't do that because it's infected. So I'm dosed up on morphine, I'm on gas and air, and they spray this very, very cold spray kind of thing. It didn't relieve me at all. Like, it was just so intense. And any time they would just touch anything back there, I was on the verge of screaming. I'm just trying my best. And, given that I've endured all these other issues, severe pain, this was worse. And they're like, well, look, they have to come out. I'm sorry, they have to come out. And so I'm laying on my side and I'm gripping the hell out of the mattress and the sheets and the pillow. And it just felt like eternity just to remove these 2 stitches. And it was really problematic for them. They were kind of struggling to get underneath, to pull it out, to get a loop, to cut, and then to pull them through, to get them out. And honestly, it's almost like I'm having to reassess all of my pain levels when they say, where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Like, that was a 10. In that moment, I was like, please come and pull 2 stents out through my genitals again with no anesthetic. That was easier than this. And yeah, it just goes to show it's unbelievable, isn't it? How we're all affected differently with pain, and maybe some people wouldn't feel it the way I felt it, but the nature of how it is back there with the infection and the nerves, oh my goodness, I can't begin to tell you how painful that was. So unfortunately, I have to go back Monday to get the other 3 taken out. And so obviously in the back of my mind, it's like, it sucks. But on the positive side, I actually slept last night. And so I have had some meaningful rest. And I did wake up and feel quite positive, like I'm moving around a little bit better. And I'm building up an appetite. I've lost a decent amount of weight, probably easily 17 pounds. I'd lost a stone, which is 14 pounds, in the hospital after about 5 days. But I'm around 9 stone right now, so like 126 pounds, which is so light. So I'm obviously going to have to get the food in. I think actually moving around, and I know they're saying like, don't lift things. My stomach's fine. It's so strange how they were concerned about this cut at the front and all this. Is that okay? Are you okay? It's like, that's fine. There's no pain. I can deal with that. Stent syndrome was a nightmare. It was horrible. I still have a bit of an urge to wee constantly, and I've not had any break from that. It just takes time. It's really unfortunate, and I think it's all pertaining to the stents, which I can't make up my mind whether it was a good idea or not, but it's done now. For me now, it's just about getting through and past Monday. And after that, I think, honestly, I'd just be relieved and happy and on a real path to actually healing again and a proper recovery, because I still can't sit, right? So it's just not ideal. It was more comfortable last night laying down. I think that was because half of them were